everybody, I'm here with a video of what I spent my personal money on for the month of October. If you've watched my recent budget videos, you know that every month I give myself and my husband $160 of personal money. Now that may seem like a lot to some people or very little to some people. Again, it just depends on your budget and how much flexibility that you have. Again, this year I went to part-time, so my pay decreased a lot. And when I say a lot, it decreased by about $1,600 a month, which is a huge, significant decrease. So I've been part-time since August. So I've had August, September, October. So I've had these last 3 months, and really I just haven't revamped my budget to kind of reflect my new pay much because I just honestly haven't had time. And normally I revamp my budget at the start of the year, so I think I can probably manage and hang on until through December because I've already done my November budget, so I really just have one more budget to go. And then in January I will revamp my budget, I will decrease things and stuff like that. So my personal spending may go down in January, but so far we've been fine. We have no debt, no car payments, nothing like that. So anyway, so basically I get $40 a week, and I take the month and split it into 4 weeks. So like October's a little bit longer, so some of the weeks have 8 days instead of 7, but I divide up the month. I have 4 weeks and I put $40 in 4 envelopes and I write the date. So from the 20th to the 27th, and then on the next one I put the 28th through, the 6th of the next month or whatever. And so every week, I kind of tend to open mine week by week. My husband just sort of opens his all at once and puts them in his wallet. So just however you want to do that. But I did have $160 to spend on personal stuff this month, and I always find it super interesting to see what people are spending their personal money on, and how much they spent, did they overspend, things like that. And so I thought I would show you my purchases that I bought just for myself for the month of October. Okay, so my first purchase, I've already done a video on. I did buy this Sensationals Sugar Skull Wax Warmer. This was $15. And then I also bought 4 of the wax melts, and they were $2 a piece. Now, I've already put those up, and I don't feel like digging them out. So this was $15. The wax melts, 4 of them at $2 a piece, that was $8. So for this and 4 of the same Day of the Dead themed wax melts, it was $23. Now, sometimes it's like a couple cents more, or sometimes it's a couple cents less, so I'm just rounding it to, it was 23 bucks for all of those. So that was the first thing that I purchased, and I absolutely love this thing. I just put it up a few days ago because I put my Christmas tree up already. And I'm not one of those people that's like, I have to have my Christmas tree up right now. I love Christmas and I love my Christmas tree. But the primary reason I put my Christmas tree up is because I have gifts for my boys already, and they're crammed in our closet and they need to get out of there, and I don't have anywhere to put them but under the tree. So step 1, put up the tree. Step 2, wrap all the gifts in the closet. Step 3, get them out of the closet. So I want them out of my closet, so I have to do all of these things to get them out of there. So anyway, it felt kind of weird because this was up as well as the Christmas tree, so I went ahead and took it down. So that plus 4 wax melts, that was my first personal budget purchase. Say that 10 times fast. And that was $23. Alright, so the next thing I bought was this CD set off of Amazon. So I'm a big fan of Joyce Meyer, and I've been doing a lot of soul searching, I don't know, just really since I had my first son, but now that I've had my second son too, just about, I'll get really frustrated, and it's like I'm really stressed and overwhelmed a lot of the times, and so I'm sure that you can probably relate when your stress level is right here all the time, the littlest thing can just, push over the edge, and I'll get snappy, and I hate it. I hate that about myself, and I go to bed feeling guilty about it. I'll snap at my 2-year-old, and I'm like, he's 2, or I'll snap at my husband, or, I just get I'll be trying to cook, and I'm stepping all over Hot Wheels, and I'm about to fall and break my neck, and I get all irritated and gripey, and, I hate it. I don't want to be that way, and I really do try to control it. The worst I do is get snappy, but I want to improve. So anyway, she wrote a book called Me and My Big Mouth, and I was thinking about buying the book, but honestly I'm reading a different book right now, and I don't have a whole lot of time to read as it is. I mean, I have 2 kids under 3. They're 23 months apart, so so I get a little time to read after they go to bed, but normally I'm so exhausted that I'm like, no. So anyway, instead of buying the book, I tried something a little bit different this time, and I just bought a CD. Now this is not actually the book on CD, but it's a couple of her like sermons about the topic of controlling your mouth and bridling your tongue. And so I've actually been listening to this. I've already listened through it actually. I've been listening to this like on my drive to and from work, because I'm alone at that time and I can actually listen and focus on what she's saying and think about it instead of, kids in the back seat or talking to someone or whatever. So I've been sort of doing that as like a kind of private Bible study, time with God sort of thing. And I really enjoy it. So I actually ordered a couple CDs off eBay. So those aren't here yet. Those will be a November personal money purchase. But I've already listened to this twice, and I did find a lot of really helpful information in it. I found it beneficial for me. So that was $12 on Amazon. And it's, these are super old because people don't even do CDs anymore most of the time. And it's just got 4 different sermons. The Power of Words, Don't Complain, Your Words and Your Future, and Be Careful What You Say. So, me and my big mouth. Okay, the next thing that I bought, and this is not including like my Shein haul that I also did this month. I did do a Shein haul this month, but sometimes I put clothing as like a separate budget category or just kind of don't include it in my personal money. But this was something that I did buy out of my personal money. So I got this at Walmart. I have 3 other sweaters actually in the same color. My mom bought me 2 of them. I bought 1, and I just love them. They're like the perfect length for me. They're kind of a little baggy, but not too baggy, and they're super soft, and they're way cheap and way cute. So I did buy this sweater at Walmart. It was like $11.50, so let's just say $12. And it's by Time and True. I get a large and it fits perfect, and it's just a cute little camo one. It looks really cute with some jeans with some little holes in them, and some cute little sneakers. So it has a little opening on the side. Nothing just too super fancy about it, but it's super adorable and I really like it. And for $12, why not? Okay, so this was like the big bulk of my personal money this month, and I meant to do a video on this just by itself, but I didn't, and I already used it. So I could still do a review or show how the system works, but I broke into it and tried it like as soon as I got it because I was excited. Okay, so this is a nail dip kit, and this one is by Nail Boo, and that looks just like the Square Hue logo, so I'm actually curious if they're like owned by the same company, but I don't really know. So if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you would know I used to do a whole bunch of like nail art and designs and things like that, and it was a hobby. I loved it, I enjoyed it, and then I had kids and mama's nails look horrible. And I'm also a nail biter, so a little known fact about me, I am a stress nail biter, so if I'm like having a stressful day, I'll just bite them suckers off, and it's so gross, but it's been something I've struggled with forever. So I used to do long acrylics, and that was the only way I couldn't bite my nails because you can't bite them when you have acrylics on. But they kind of destroy your nails after a while, and when I do paint my nails, it lasts me like 3 days, and then instead of biting my nails, I'll peel the polish off. So like it's a horrible habit, and I'm really trying to stop. And so I was researching and I found nail dip powder. And if you can look all of this up, but basically you kind of paint this liquid on, you dip it in, it's basically like an acrylic powder and it's colored. You put an activator on it to harden it, and then you put a top coat on it. And they say it can last up to like 3 weeks. For me, I tried this and it lasted me exactly 7 days. But for me, that's like kind of a miracle because again, nail polish lasts me like 3 days max and I have to repaint them. So I was really happy with the results, and so I've been trying this for a couple of weeks now, and so I think I'm on like week 3 of not biting my nails. So you can see here they're actually getting like decently over the tips of my finger, and that may seem like nothing to someone, but for me personally that is very much a miracle. And you can see they look super nice, and this is like my 3rd time using this stuff, so I think for the 3rd time, I think that looks pretty much just as good as you could probably get in a salon. And then the 2nd time I used it, I actually used a different brand. But the second time I did nail dip, it lasted me like a week and a half. So I'm thinking I may do a video when I'm all done with this, because I've actually ordered 3 kits from 3 different brands, and I'm thinking I may do a video at the end just talking about the 3 different kits, their price points, and like which one do I actually think worked best. So this one was actually the most expensive out of them, and again, the other 2 kits are kind of like November purchases, but this was $103, and that is super pricey, but it has 6 different colors as well as all of the liquids that you need, and it came with a free set of the little soaker clips, I guess is how I could explain it. So I won't get too in-depth here, but I will show you everything that came in the box. And honestly, these little boxes that are inside are impossible to open, so I like ripped the top of all of them. So they're gonna have to go into a different storage method. So it came with a file, it came with a metal cuticle pusher, and it came with this little kabuki brush, and you use the kabuki brush to sort of brush off the extra liquid. So it came with that. Then it came with these little nail clips. You soak your cotton in acetone and you kind of clip it onto your nail to help soak them off. I did not have to do that. For me, I'm washing bottles all day and washing dishes all day, so mine just start to kind of lift and come off naturally, and honestly, I didn't have to soak them or anything. They just kind of popped right off, and it didn't really damage my nails underneath either. Okay, so it does come with a base powder, so you put on the liquid and you dip it in this base powder first, or build powder, sorry, and then you do the liquid again, and then you pick your color. Okay, and the liquids, it has these 4 liquids in the box, and again, I just ripped through this. They all just look like this, and it has everything you need to basically do your nails. So I did get 6 colors, and honestly, you can't really tell what they look like when they're the powder, because when you put the top coat on them or the activator, sometimes they kind of turn darker or lighter, and so you have to kind of look at pictures really online of what the finished product looks like, or a lot of people will swatch them to see, because sometimes it's not super true to the actual color. So this one is Forest Flex, and it's just a pretty green. Then I got Cotton Candy, and these are really large containers. I'm not sure how many ounces. They may be, I don't know, 0.5, I don't know, whatever. Nailstalgic, and it's just kind of a pretty white. You can see definitely, it's kind of, it looked sort of marbly in the picture, and you can see it's kind of white with some silver glitter in there. And I thought that would be really pretty maybe around Christmas. This one is Sweater Weather, and it is a gray. It looks kind of light there, but the actual picture on the internet was a little bit darker gray. So I'm hoping it's more gray than white. This one is Baby Blues, and it's this really pretty periwinkle. It kind of reminds me of Bikini So Teeny by Essie, which is my all-time favorite nail polish, and I wear it all the time. And then the last one, which is the only one I've actually tried from this kit, is Sunday Brunch, and it's just this really pretty pink, and that was the very first one I did. Again, I was super happy with it, that it lasted a week. So yeah, I'll just do a video when I'm done with all 3 kits to share with you kind of my thoughts and opinions on them. So I kind of justified this because even though it was $103, if you go to the salon and get like gel or shellac nails, you're looking at $25 to $35 depending on where you go a pop. So really, if I use that 3 times to do my nails, it's pretty much paid for itself. I usually never buy anything unless I calculate kind of like the cost per use, or how many times do I have to use this before it actually pays for itself. So like for example, I bought my sons a bounce house. We busted it out at Halloween. It was the most amazing thing ever. My sons, like, they loved it, and just seeing the joy on their face made it worth it. But it was like $1,400, a lot of money. But I decided to splurge because here, when you rent a bounce house, it's $150. And so I was like, okay, well, my sons are going to be 1 and 3. Like, we have a ton of birthdays coming up in the future. God willing, I live. And so I'm like, okay, if we use this 10 times, like, it's paid for itself. We've already used it once. We're going to use it this upcoming weekend for my second son's birthday. He's turning 1. And then after a month, my oldest son is turning 3. And then if it's warm enough, we're going to bust it out at Christmas. So there's like 4 times right there that it pays for itself. Okay, that was sort of a tangent. And the last thing that I bought, I got this at Ross, and it was $14.99, so $15. And this is just a little Caboodles clear storage trunk case. I have something very similar to this that's just clear and black that I've had for literally 20 years. And so anyway, I'm thinking, I bought this basically because I'm going to start putting some of the dip powders in this. I thought it would be a cute way to store them, and like you guys know, I love Caboodles because I'm all about 80s and 90s and stuff. So it was 15 bucks at Ross. I think it's adorable. I'm gonna put the dip powders in the bottom, and you know, I could put like the nail file or whatever on the top because it has a little tiny storage space. So yeah, that was my last purchase for 15 bucks. All right, so if you've done the math, which you probably haven't, but I did the math, that's $165. So I did go over $5, but like I had 5 extra bucks in my wallet. So I did go over about $5, maybe 6 or 7 if you include some tax. But that is what I spent my $160 on for personal money in October. All right, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment below. What did you buy yourself in October? Hopefully at least something, right? You can buy yourself wonderful stuff even when you're on a budget like me. Okay, see you next time. Bye.